We're talking everything from The Pit, Season 2, Episode 12. Dana and Robbie finally having it out. Santos is on the verge of something not so great. And also, just a word to the wise, don't mix cocaine and alcohol. All that and more in an all-new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome to Unbinged, podcast where we break down the shows, movies, and news you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown. I got Jagger and Matt Kopfhamer with me. We're going to talk everything from this latest episode, but first, the spoiler warning.
We're talking about The Pit, guys. Episode 12. You've done this 12 weeks now. Maybe watch an episode that you haven't seen before, or maybe mix cocaine and alcohol and come back. Live your life. I'm not going to tell you what to do like Alfredo.
I was wondering if someone was going to shut me up. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Homie made a super soldier syndrome or a super soldier serum in his own blood, dog. I didn't know that's what got people so raged out on cocaine sometimes. I'm like, wow, homie made this party suck.
This went from really fun to not cool. Really
I'm
bad
straight
vibes,
up
really
not
bad.
having a good time.
Straight up having a good time, bro. But wait, when can he go home though? He's fine now. He can go home.
Yeah,
now, right?
I'm good. I was just on drugs when I attacked you.
Yeah.
It's not like a
exactly.
We shouldn't make it.
It's fine.
About this. I should just go.
Exactly. I didn't know what I was doing, therefore I'm innocent.
I love how
Dr.
Dana's
McKay.
was it McKay? That's who it was. Yeah.
It was just straight up, just like, when you kill someone with your car, it's like, even though you're an alcoholic, it still counts.
I didn't do it though. I didn't do it. And then he immediately rages out on her. He's like, "Fuck everybody!" It's like, oh, okay, so you're normally a very chill guy when you're not on drugs too. Got it.
This could ruin my life. It's like, could have ended
You think?
hers.
Well, by the way, you guys catch who that patient was? He's not a very well-known actor, but he plays the same douchebag in everything that he's in. He's the same bully / douche from Transformers, the first movie, Accepted. The blonde guy who's trying to beat up Justin Long the whole time. He's in Friday the 13th. He's just the same dude in everything.
In Transformers, he's like, we couldn't find another shirt. We looked for he's like that guy.
No. The one where he's oh my god. Is it that? No, it's the first one where he's dating Megan Fox.
He's Megan Fox's first boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, you just
Don't
take my truck.
Yes,
Women can't
one.
drive vehicles.
He's had a lot of character growth over the years. What if it's the same guy?
He's not even acting.
Cocaine.
What if it's the same? No, I'm saying, what if it's the same character?
The same character throughout all his appearances.
The Pit, the Pit is in the same universe as Transformers.
As all of these things.
They just never talk about that.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. You just have Bumblebee come through the ER. Yep, there you go.
We've gone too far. All right, let's actually talk about the show. Guys, I think this was the episode that made me start to say, I think this show could do well and maybe even not need Dr. Robbie in it. Maybe the ER itself is better served without Dr. Robbie. And all of that stemmed from this scene in the ambulance drive-through area between Charge Nurse Dana and Dr. Robbie. And as one of our friends, Scott, pointed out, I think that was their Emmy scene together right there, showing how strong these actors are.
Oh, yeah. And when Robbie trying to read Dana to filth, being like, oh, I'm guessing that syringe was for Doug Driscoll. You just carry it around as a way, blah, 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 blah. And then she turns it around on him. And it's like, yeah, Dr. Robbie, glass houses. Don't throw stones. What are you doing? And at the same time, it's like, if I'm Robbie in that situation, I'm doing everything in my power, not only to keep Dana happy, but also to protect her, because she did everything right, even if it was quote unquote the wrong thing by punching the dude. She saved Emma. Fuck that.
It sounded like he was trying to protect her. He's going
about it the wrong way.
That's it. He's trying to do the right thing.
What it
is. He keeps going about it the wrong way.
Right. If he had come at her a different way and just be like, hey, I understand, I agree, I accept what you did. Here's what we're going to tell everyone happened. And go about it that way, things would have been a lot smoother. But again, we're on hour 12 of one of the hardest days any of them have ever seen. So it's understandable that they're all kind of at each other's throats. It just, as an audience member, it's sad because these are two of my favorite characters and you want them to be copacetic, not at each other's throats.
Yeah. And I definitely think that Robbie should have came in and be like, "Hey, I get how you did it. How do we make this look right? You know,
Bingo.
like make it sound like he's
What do we
on
How do
our
we make it
side."
look like an industrial accident?
Yeah, like there's a way to do it, and that's not like point fingers. Like I just watched The Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. This
Takes place in Hialeah.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of The Rip vibes, dude who's only ever seen The Rip. That's where it's just like, I don't trust you, you know, like you kind of gave an accusatory term to your strongest soldier there,
Yeah.
and you need her, like you said, Koff, you need to protect her, you need to make her feel well. She's someone who clearly still has PTSD in whatever form that is from an event that happened. He's handling every scenario within his team like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, he has no grace at this point in the shift, and I think it's A, he is exhausted, B, he is burnt out, and C, like he seemed close to the edge of like we were wondering if he's contemplating possibly harming himself or suicide. And at this episode, I'm almost convinced like he's gonna drive into oncoming traffic when he gets off shift because he does not seem in his right mind. Everyone is commenting on it.
Yes.
Everything is falling apart around him, and it's terrifying as an audience member.
I think there's some parallels, a couple things, and I think the show has done a really good job of doing this. There are some parallels to the mom that was walking into oncoming traffic in the last episode because of the guilt, and we see that here with Dr. Robbie, where he's talking about Langdon and how like Dana basically says like, that was your guy, you feel bad, I get it, and him saying like, I'm not leaving this place better than how I found it. Like there is just guilt to the point that he's saying maybe the world, maybe everything is better without me at this point. And there was another scene that actually has nothing to do with Robbie, but I think it talks to who he is so much right now because he sort of lost his bedside manner with his coworkers. He still has it with his patients, and he's able to compartmentalize with his patients and his job.
Barely with his patients.
Barely. But it's something that Dr. McKay says where she's like, this place makes us shut down our feelings. Or excuse me, Langdon says this place makes us shut down our feelings, and McKay says, I've shut them off for so long, I don't know how to turn them back on. And I think that's the bigger thing going on with Dr. Robbie here. It's not any one thing. I just think he doesn't know how to be a person again outside of being an ER doctor and running that ER. And so when he has Al-Hashimi coming in and taking over his responsibilities and noticing that doctors are doing well without him, and the doctors who depended on him are the ones struggling the most. And there's all these things kind of going. I don't think he knows how to be a person anymore.
No,
I think one of the most telling examples of that is when he is talking to Dr. Mohan about the program, or I forget the terminology, that she should be looking at geriatric practice. And he starts out really well. And then he gets to the point where it's like you have the disposition for the pace or something like that. And it just fucking flushes the whole statement down the drain. Because it's like you were giving her some platitudes until you threw in like a little bite at the end. And it's like all you had to say is like you have the right disposition for these types of patients. You'll do well there. Boom. Perfect. She's happy, and instead he has to throw in that little bar,
backhanded compliment, like
yes,
that's
and it just goes to show, like again, mentally he's at a place where even when he wants to try to do something nice or good, he can't help but throw a little bit of venom in there.
You know what's funny is I wrote this down. I think it's just like a funny comp. I think he's kind of Bruce Wayne at this point, where he has been Batman for so long, he doesn't know how, like, being Bruce Wayne, being the person is actually just like, that's his mask. He doesn't even know how to be a person anymore. And like Dana is sort of his Alfred, like his North Star that brings him back to things. And she's calling him out on his bullshit now. And you've got Langdon as like his Robin, Dick Grayson. Like there's like it really is. It's like a whole thing of just like, he's falling apart, and the people around him are a big reason that like, he's either going to bounce back or just fall into a total pit. Thank you. I'll see myself out.
Very nice.
The Data Alfred comp is so good, dude. Just it's because you got like an unwieldy accent that is just like, I can't stand to watch you do it. Dude,
just amazing one-liners.
Yeah, if
Alfred was from Pittsburgh,
sometimes the pit spits something back.
Some patients just want to see the world burn. Oh man. And then Langdon being as Robin is actually interesting, but I don't think it's Dick Grayson. I think it's more Jason Todd. There you go. Anyway, enough Batman for this episode. I think we hit our quota.
What are you, the fun police?
Come on.
We haven't talked villains yet, my boy.
Cocaine guy, Two-Face, done.
Al Hashimi, close to the Riddler, if she wasn't already.
I you know what? I actually wrote Commissioner Gordon on the show sheet. I'm just gonna say that
it does make sense, where he's just like, hey, we can't have you. Pistol whipping people. It's like, Batman doesn't use guns. It's like,
but I think this is interesting because the question I posed at the beginning is like, is the ER best served with Dr. Robbie in it? And I think we've actually gotten the show to a point where I wonder if the show works all the time with Noah Wyle in it. I actually think some of these characters allow us to explore something new, not just always is Dr. Robbie crashing out.
Well, not just that, but it gives us an opportunity to see maybe in the Pitt night shift as a spinoff and see these other doctors like Dr. Jack Abbott and even Mateo. We got a little bit of Mateo at the end of this episode. So
Death doula nurse.
Maybe, yes, exactly.
Let's get our night shift Avengers.
Let's do it. Maybe they're gearing up for either the third season as a night shift or they're getting a spinoff. But I think they're being very smart with how they integrate some of these other doctors and other nurses into the story and giving us just a little bit where we're almost chomping at the bit. We're like, yeah, let's see some of these stories. Because Mateo teases it when he's talking to Dr. J, who I don't know if you guys knew this, but basketball player? No, I'm kidding. Of course I know who Dr. J is. But when he's talking to Javati,
nailed it. You landed that.
He's talking to Javati. Of course. Who doesn't know who Julius Erving is?
The Allen Iverson erasure, though, will not stand. Like, we can say Dr. J is one of the best Philadelphia basketball players ever.
But look at who said that. Dana was the one that said that. Dana said that. I don't know how much AI she watched versus Dr. J. Anyway, we're getting off track.
We're talking about the exact right thing. Hold on. Nurse Dana's like what? 50?
50?
55?
Yeah, so she was
I don't
born
think
the
she's
70s?
on the sixth. I don't think she's on the sixth floor. She looks great.
She's not 60. No.
She does.
She's in her 50s, early 50s.
Allen Iverson, prime of his career, she was what? 20, 25,
30s?
30?
This is like how they never mention the Bulls in Harry Potter. Like, what is up with that? It's set in the 90s.
Oh, the 90s Bulls. Yeah, you need one character going, wow, what an insane run.
Okay, sorry.
That Michael Jordan guy, pretty good, huh? Anyway.
He's a real wizard on the basketball court. And then
it works two ways.
I'm so proud of these stupid segments we're doing. Sorry, Koff. Go back to what you were saying.
That's cool.
That was way more.
Even Mateo gave us that little teaser when he's talking to Dr. J or Dr. Javati, and he's like, you gotta join the dark side. She goes, what, emergency medicine? Because she's still in the thought process of her parents. It's like, no, the night shift. And she's like, oh. So again, I think they're giving us that little bit of a tease of like, hey, maybe coming next.
It's like Dr. What's her name? Give me just a second. Dr. Ellis in there that helps Dr. King. She just go through the deposition. And
this is a monologue, not a deposition.
She's always trying to sleep. I feel like for 2 seasons, this girl's been trying to get a nap in, and it hasn't happened. And then
she keeps trying to nap at the hospital instead of at home. Like, what is she doing?
Where does she live at? You don't know, dog. Obviously, it must be rough if she's trying to sleep at work. And then
Did she pull a Whitaker, Phantom of the Pit?
Oh, that's a whole other thing we got to unpack. Dr. Shin is like the unbothered king. Homie's like always calm. It's him and his Starbucks cup against the world, or Dunkin'. Yeah, sorry, he's from a Dunkin' household. I feel like
no free ads, guys. No free ads.
Okay. He's that one. He's that one meme where it's a chick where she's like, "What's a better sound than this?" and she like sprinkles her iced coffee around. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Goff. We're going to talk more about this. Before we do, guys, we're bringing you more content, more episodes of Unbinged. We've got our premium episodes that are now available here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, everywhere you get this podcast. Every Tuesday, we're going to have episodes of Paradise. We did our rewatches of Sinners and one battle after another. We've got Invincible season 4 that's going to be on there as well. And also, we're going to be putting Euphoria season 3 on our premium content. But we also have other great content coming up for you guys. We just watched Project Hail Mary. Every Thursday, we're here covering The Pitt. We're going to be covering Your Friends and Neighbors, The Boys over on Prime Video. Just a ton of different content for you guys to enjoy here from Unbinged. We're putting in the work. We want to be able to give you guys a lot of episodes to enjoy. So please enjoy them. And honestly, I got to give a big shout out. Jag, you did a great job putting these names here in the show sheet for us, but big member shout out to, we got some great comments last episode from Crampsy, Abigail, Jan Coolhane, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, and LCBP111. It's just a great sequence of letters and numbers there. But you guys, awesome members, leaving us great comments, really keeping everything involved. And I just want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to you guys. We don't do this without you. So thank you so much. All right, guys, back to it. I think it was interesting. We're talking about Dr. Shen, right? And like him coming in. I think the other thing is Dr. Joy on her way out. I thought this was so interesting and something they hadn't established yet anywhere is Dr. Joy just dropping the stats on Langdon. You know that 62% of ED docs report suffering from burnout? Maybe you guys should set boundaries like me. And I think this is it's a very interesting ethical question. And it's a lot of what the Pitt has been doing throughout this season is, do you go the extra mile to help your fellow man and to do your job to the best of your abilities? Or do you live to fight another day? Something that I don't know that Dr. Robbie or Dana or at this point McKay or a lot of these doctors have been able to do. And it's very interesting that we look at Joy, the person who has this disposition that almost seems like she is in a state of constant crankiness, is like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to put my boundaries. I'm going to go home. I'm going to reset. I thought this was a very, very smart way to do this.
Not only that, but she brings up the point of she's still an intern. She is not getting paid for any of this. So you're expecting her, A, to pull in a 12-hour shift for free, but then you're also going to try to guilt her into staying extra and doing extra work. So I am wholeheartedly on Joy's side for leaving.
That's also been the long-standing intern thing. Like interns do more work for free so you can prove yourself. And that's not just the medical field. I'm talking about in general. Yeah, I'm not like agreeing with it, right? Of like more free work for young people to do. It's a very toxic workplace thing that we have let ourselves get into, that I almost think Langdon was like, oh shit, did she just like say something that made a lot of sense to me?
And
that's the thing is when you're in the shit. Right. When you're in the shit, it's hard for you to pull back and be like, oh, this shit's broken. Because you're in it. You're just in survival mode. And I think that's where so many doctors and so many nurses and so many healthcare professionals find themselves in this broken system of a healthcare system in America. And there is no individual, like one person cannot fix this. So they're just stuck in this fucking bullshit. And it's until somebody like Joy stops and goes, hey, what are we doing? Like, we need to look. No one else. Dana brings it up multiple times this episode. No one else would look out for us. So we got to look out for ourselves. And not only is it with patients, it's also with the system. And so I think this is a great and profound scene. It's a minor scene in the overall arch of the show, but I think it's such a profound scene to point out to people. Because healthcare is a huge issue, but across the board, working in America, we are almost brainwashed into, if you don't go the extra mile, you're kind of lazy. And so you should do more than what you're paid for. every single time. And that's fucked up. That's not the work culture we should be promoting. We should be promoting how, like Joy says, healthy boundaries, making sure you can come back tomorrow at full 100% ready to go, and you're not leaving yourself, at the door every day, like diminished.
And that's 100% an American, and who beats us at depression. Very much Asian culture is built in.
Japanese,
like Europe, they're chill as they don't give a fuck over there. Like,
bro, Spain gets
Spain,
2 hour
Spain's
naps
like,
every
let's
day.
take a nap.
Siesta.
Yeah, it's my cousins in Germany. They're so happy. I only have one crash out cousin, and that's out of a big family. Statistically, that's pretty fucking good numbers. And that's not even because, they're all doctors or whatever. They all just live just pretty fulfilling lives doing whatever the fuck they want. In America, we're like rise and grind. If you're not up pumping collagen directly into your ass cheeks every morning before you get in the sauna, splashing your face in water, you're being left behind, brother. That's just kind of
God, I really got to reevaluate my morning routine.
Dude, but what are you doing, Alfredo? What are you doing?
I had a coffee and
TikTok.
Oatmeal.
And what's crazy is American work culture is you live to work, whereas a lot of other countries, especially Europe, it's you work to live. Like, you work so you can support your lifestyle, not the other way around. In America, we're just, like you said, Jack, it's like grind, hustle, oh, now you're dead.
Yeah. Don't live to work to live.
I want to pause on one thing here, because on interns, like Alfredo, you've been an intern before, right?
Yes.
Coffee, you've been an intern?
No, I'm not that dumb.
Dog, for a lot
I
of
get paid for my work, except for on the podcast.
Okay, big dick. What I'm gonna say is, like, for a lot of industries, particularly in media, right?
Yeah, I was about to say you
start off with an internship, because the thing is, like, you can't get, for a lot of places too, you can't get hired without some sort of experience. And that's the same thing with hospitals, right? Like, these are students that need to have experience in the hospital. They don't just go, hey, you're the new chief of medicine, 22-year-old, right? Like, they just can't do it. And I'm not trying to suggest that the system works, but there is something, and Jack, I don't want to step on your toes here, but at least I know, like, when I was an intern, the whole thing was you worked well beyond your shift because you needed to separate yourself from the other interns, and you were fighting to get that job. And I got that job right out of college, and I got it within, not everyone has this ability to work for free, but I got that job within like 5 or 6 months, and it was a really solid job for someone my age.
I'm a hustler, so I literally just, like, I'm going to be an intern. I'll have them paying me in 3 months. That's literally what the mentality that I went in to say. Like that's what I'm going to do. And, like, what I want to bring out is just, like, the one thing that the younger generation does well, but sometimes they go too far, is they set good boundaries. Sometimes not, like, you do need to work a little hard the other mile, but, like, I just feel like Joy wouldn't take some disrespect that, like, I had to take. The first thing that I learned, like, I started in a print media on there, like, for journalism, and I got brought in. I'm like, okay, what's the first thing I need to know? I asked my editor for sports, and he's like, we're not going to start out at sports because that's fun. He's like, you're going to start over here in education. He's like, my second piece of advice, he said, methamphetamine. Learn how to spell it. He's like, you're gonna be typing that word over and over again over here.
I thought he meant start doing it.
In education? In education, you need to
I had to start out in education. I would literally type out to fucking honor roll every goddamn week. That's how to start out doing. I was
surprised at your response when he said the methamphetamine thing. You're like, oh, so I am going to be in sports. Cool.
So, Jack, spell out methamphetamine.
It's actually, it's one of those, it's
keystrokes for me. Amphetamine.
Yeah, it's like, it's keystrokes, methamphetamine. And I didn't last that long there enough to, like, write about that, because I'm like, oh, so you mean that I can work really hard to make $11 an hour? Okay.
Yeah. Like, you know what happened to me was I got the job, and then, like, after working the job for a little bit, I was like, cool. So talking to my boss, how do I take the next steps? And the boss is like, dude, you're
last 30 years.
You're 23 years old, man. Like, there's no next steps for you for like another 5-6 years. And when you kind of always assume that when you're a younger person working, but then when you hear it out loud, you're like, well, goddamn, like I have absolutely no motivation to stay in this field, and you move on. And I to bring this back to Joy and to the pit, I'm almost happy that Langdon doesn't bring that up. You know, the like, well, you're never going to get ahead or you're not going to get a job. He kind of says it like, you know, like everyone sticks around longer, but he doesn't pinpoint that on Joy to like guilt her into, hey, you're not going to get anywhere in your career if you don't do this.
Well, not only that, but Joy has been very vocal where she doesn't think emergency medicine is in her future. So she's doing the steps she needs to do to graduate medical school and do these shifts at the ER, but this is not her future. And so she realizes that. And so again, it goes back to, she already knows if this isn't my future, I don't need to kill myself going above and beyond, because there are other programs I can do that I'm going to excel at. And with her, we've already seen, like, she is fully capable of being a badass doctor. And so again, it just goes, not everyone is built for the pit, and that's fine. That's how it should be. Like, you don't need to put people who aren't built for it there. So let her have her boundaries and go on. And I think seeing Langdon realize that in time and just kind of let her leave, I think was really good too.
Joy with the ER is me when I was learning calculus. I was like, I don't need to know this. I'm not going to do anything with calculus.
Except for she's actually capable of what, you know, she's learning and doing. And calculus.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying like her mindset of like, I don't need this. It's super bad when he's in home ec and Jonah Hill's like, what am I going to be, a chef? Sorry, it's only 2 weeks of school left.
What am I, a single mother? Cook anything?
Yeah, that's fair. It's funny. It took me 4
when am I ever have to cook tiramisu?
I actually made one the other day. Alfredo, you bringing up like calculus. I didn't even get that far. Like, I've been an artsy motherfucker my whole life. 4 tries to pass college algebra. And to bring up your point, I'm very capable at math. Mr. Wiley, shout out to him. Like, not Noah Wiley, but he was he taught physics and then college algebra. So like when he would come from like the physics majors to us in there, you could just tell he hated himself so much. He literally was like, Mr. May, I'm going to give you a pity C. He's like, you are very capable, but you I don't want to see you next semester. That's literally what he told me. He's like, I do not need you in here. He's like, you're very disruptive. he's like, when you do show up, you never...
Oh my God. You literally got passed because you were a problem.
Yeah, dude, because I just don't care. I'd be like yapping, making jokes. I used to make fun of the other kids in there for, like, one time someone tried to divide by 0.
You? I don't buy that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I didn't try to divide by 0. I'm not fucking stupid. I literally got up and left. Most Riley's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this kid divide by 0. So I just left.
Dude,
Jagger bullying.
So funny. We had the football coach at my high school also taught the weightlifting class, and we had one of my friends also named Matt was in there. Yeah, taught, right? He was also in that class. Yeah. And,
what?
And yeah, I mean, you could just go and take weight training as a class. And
no, I know,
like it's pretty easy. But
the whole thing doesn't compute.
Yeah, he doesn't watch this anyways. But he was like, Coach, I think I'm going to try out for the football team. And the coach straight up says, I will give you an A+ in this class if you do not waste my time and try out for the football team. He's like, I do not want to see you on the practice field. You will get an A+, just do not show up.
Fucking deal.
And he was like, done. Cool. From then on, more kids tried to pull that off. And he's like, oh shit, what have I done?
He's like, what have I done?
By the way, speaking of like kind of fuck ass students, no Ogilvy this episode. Like not even see him in the background
because he goes upstairs. He goes upstairs with
his patient. Yep, with his teacher patient. So
because Ogilvy had a lot of growth last episode, so he's taking responsibility to follow his patient up there. Right. So it's weird that I like Ogilvy better than Robbie. Santos, one of my favorite characters. She's having a tough time. I guess we should talk about that.
I think there's just characters that are palate cleansers, right? Mm-hmm. And I think right now, if we're looking at this ensemble cast as sort of like a multi-course meal, we're getting a lot of the same flavors over and over. And not that it's a bad thing, because that's the show's like intention, is to get you to the point of anxiety. That you've got Robbie and Dana and Santos and Langdon and Joy and everyone that's fucking miserable all the time. The Langdon and
then
Santos.
You got Whitaker.
Yeah,
you got Whitaker come in like a bomb.
Beautiful son of a bitch. I love him, man. Whitaker is our Samwise in this show. He's like the Samwise Gamgee of this show. Like, he is just the unsung hero of this whole thing. Always positive attitude. He's just saying, "Don't worry, Mrs. Santos. I'll take you. Like, I'll carry the burden for you.
Just say you want me to be your roommate."
More lambda spread.
Okay. The Santos and Langdon thing. Robbie finally, it's interesting because I thought that the Dr. Al-Hashimi overheard the conversation. I guess she didn't quite hear all the details between Santos and Langdon. She just saw them going at each other's throats. And Robbie finally breaks down to her.
Spilled the beans.
She's the one that ratted him out on his benzo addiction. And all of a sudden, Dr. Al-Hashimi starts treating Langdon different too. And I'm curious to see where that goes. The Santos thing. She also finally opens up. She opens up to Whitaker, talking to him about what really is the difficulties between her and Langdon. And I thought this was interesting because she says, "I don't care that he was an addict. I care that he was an asshole." And it's like nobody even remembers it. Everyone here talks about community and family, where they just throw you under the bus. I think that happens all the time in workplaces. But I think this is very interesting. The first line from Santos: "I don't care that he was an addict. I care that he was an asshole." And then we
had talked about that last week. We had mentioned that, where it's like, we don't think that she has an issue with his addiction so much as just how he treated her, because she called him out.
Well, and I think that it's very intentional that we kind of come back to seeing her take a scalpel out of the supply drawer. And we know from previous episodes, Santos has a history of self-harm, or at least it appears that way, which I think would almost lend to her. Is empathy going to be the right word? Maybe just understanding.
It is.
Langdon.
Empathy.
But that almost
Langdon
feels
right now. It's like
that's the thing. Yep.
Yeah, to a much smaller. And I don't want to try to compare her like what Langdon did was criminal, but to a much smaller degree, she is Langdon. She's been a huge asshole. She could be justified, and she's going through a tough time, just like addiction, whether you want to say it. It's a tough time for Langdon. It may not be justified for how he acted, but the same thing is going on for Santos right now. And I wonder if she's going to have that cathartic moment where she can maybe put himself in his shoes and maybe not fully forgive, but maybe come back to closer to where she can at least be in the same room without it being like the most uncomfortable thing for everyone in that room and us watching at home. So
we've seen her slowly spiral this entire season, and now she's becoming more verbal with it, where she's making more under her breath comments, and like she's
not even under her breath,
really filtering things. She's just straight up saying it.
She's like, "Are you a kid with a diaper rash?" No. And the patient's like, "This place sucks." She's like, "Yeah, try working here." Coffee. We saw the watch the other day. You remember when we were watching the one with Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller, where Vince Vaughn's daughter is Starlight from The Boys, and she's like, "I fucking hate it here," and he's like, "Well, I fucking love it here."
I fucking love it.
It was same vibes with her.
Yeah.
This place sucks. Yep. She's like, "Yeah, try working here."
So we've seen her lose control, spiral the entire season, and now she's at a point where she sees the scalpel, and it's not only a trigger for her, but it's her way of reaching for control. And just grabbing the scalpel, I think, is enough to assuage her this episode. But if things continue to pile on, we may see her self-harm in a future episode. And it's a way for her to try to regain control over everything that's spiraling out of control around her. And so you see it a lot of times with people with eating disorders, with self-harm disorders, things like that, where it's a way for them to feel like they have a modicum of control over their life when everything else is spiraling out of control.
I've got something, and this might be wrong, but I'm curious to see what you guys think of this theory. You talk about her wanting to have control and wanting to avoid or her life potentially spinning out of control. What if her having some sort of control is being able to keep Whitaker in the house with her? And that's the kind of person that stops her from this sort of self-harm.
That I think you're onto something. Here's what I've been trying to get out on
Yeah.
Santos, because that's a very relatable character. She grew up in homes and whatnot. You know, it is having a sense of community is tough for people like that, me included in here, where there's like, for you guys, it seems like, oh, this is just a small change. Like, you need to grow up. It's not that big of a deal. Like you're an adult. Uh, uh, Whitaker's an adult, so him getting a new place just seems very normal. For her, it's straight up abandonment. She feels abandonment issues, and like with Robbie leaving, that's something else that she brought up. Well, Robbie's the one who didn't listen to who didn't listen to anyone's bullshit, and that's gone. All of this thing that she's feeling is abandonment, and then when you're supposed to have this sense of home here, and a lot of people don't like her, she's been keeping this burden of a secret, because now Al Hashimi has heard the news. She's starting to treat Landon like shit now. That's been a lot on her, and on top of that, someone that she really likes and she's probably too tough to say something is basically treating her like a doormat. You know, like, I don't want to hear your problems or anything like that. If you want to fuck and eat ice cream, like, that's very much a douchebag thing. So all this is just like massive abandonment issues. That's something I felt recently, where I've even had to tell myself that it's not about you and you're just feeling abandonment because of all these things in your life. So I think this is all the nuance we needed to really feel where Santos is coming from. And almost, if you haven't felt some of the things, and if you don't actually stop and think about all the puzzles that make her character together, you're going to miss a lot, because it's all been tiny details about it. So
Bravo. Like, you absolutely nailed that. And I think that's something that I think, unless you understand the experience, you may not be able to point out. And I love that you were able to really dissect that for a lot of people, because I think there's a lot of people that, just like me and Koff, and a lot of our viewers on previous episodes, have been like, man, I'm really getting fed up with Santos's shit. And it's not to say that you can't be fed up with the way she's acting, but to, once again, to go back to that word empathy, and have some sort of understanding of what a character is going through. I think that changes the way you view the show.
She's Rocket Raccoon, guys. Like, it's like we've seen this story before, where like I'm a huge asshole who steals batteries. I don't need to. I grew up in a fucking cage essentially and was tortured. So like, I'm gonna be mean and rough to everyone, but all I really want is family and warmth. I just don't know how to give or accept that.
And going and kind of bouncing off what both of you have said, if she had someone in her corner, like if Garcia was a true partner, not just a fuck buddy, maybe she wouldn't be spiraling so hard. But because she doesn't have that anchor of a support system behind her, she feels unmoored. And I think what she's missing is she does have that support system, and it's Whitaker.
Yes.
It may not be a romantic support system, it's more platonic and they are roommates, but I think she is overlooking the fact that Whitaker can be that anchor for her and be that almost like North Star to get her back into a right mind. And so I think, or I hope, we see over the next couple of episodes that come to fruition, and we see her put the scalpel away and not have to resort to self-harm because she realizes Whitaker's on her side.
The whole Whitaker thing with Santos, I think, is very interesting, because I do think that, yes, like, he is the flotation device that kind of like keeps her from sinking, right? And she's reaching out for that. He does seem to be one of those guys that is aware of those things, and he almost makes it into a joke there with her, where he's like, I just need you to say that you like me as a roommate and I'll stick around. And, you know, they kind of make light of it all, where Javadi's like, you have no idea how much I loved this moment that just happened, right?
Squirm.
And we all did. We all really did. And like, Santos doesn't even know how to react. She's like, you are such a fuckleberry, and just like walks away, right? The Whitaker thing, there are also people that are going to be predispositioned to sort of being the hero or the helper as often as they can. And we've seen that with Whitaker. Like, he's always willing to go the extra mile for someone else. And I'm sure all that stems from his past as well. And we're seeing that with like his new lady friend, who is a widow, and he's trying to help there.
Whitaker is a golden retriever. When people talk about, oh, my boyfriend's a golden retriever, that's Whitaker. He is loyal. He is friendly. He's there to help. And he's just always there to try to uplift you. So, I'm almost wondering if he has any flaws at this point, other than like being somewhat dorky. Other
You
than
just
that,
named
like,
his
he doesn't
flaws.
seem to
Like,
have.
I don't mean to Michael Scott you. It's just like, you notice how I said that my flaws are also
My strengths, my flaws are
My
also
weaknesses are also strengths. I care too much. I work too hard.
Yeah,
I love
that's
too
legitimately where he's at, kind of.
He's almost too good for this show. Like, there's got to be something that makes him human at some point, right? Because he's almost too good.
Well, I wonder. I think it goes back to like you just need characters that are palate cleansers, and I think that's why we're not seeing as much of him. Like early in the first season, he was the guy that like the pit was beating him up over and over and over. Vomit, blood, puke, like shit. Well, puke and vomit are the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. And in this season, he's kind of going to take a back seat because we have so many storylines going. I'm actually still very interested. I don't think we're going to get a lot of these things wrapped up over the next 3 episodes. I think we're just going to have a lot of things carry into the next season. One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting here for them to put in Javadi and her whole Dr. J TikTok thing. And I'm wondering if and when that is going to blow up in her face. I don't know if it will, but it could also lead her to saying,
Ooh.
I don't want to work with my mom and I don't want to work in the ER. I'm going to like, it could lead to who knows what, but I bring this up because she's there uploading the ice videos.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to go nuts, dude.
That's going to go viral. And I wonder if it's going to blow back on her parents, and that's going to cause issues.
It could, well, because then you're going to have extremists who are going to be like on the other side of this thing, finding out who she is, having some sort of attack on her family, the hospital. Like this could blow up really, really bad for her.
I also, that scene, we also get Monica, I think, the clerk that came out of retirement to help out. What a bitch.
Oh, dude, I almost forgot.
You snowflake.
You bruised
You millennial. Actually,
I was stripping before you applied. I was like, what, dude?
rips a Marlboro Red. I was stripping. What's it called? The purgatory.
Know.
I was
something like it started with a P.
To
I
get
was like
my way through med school.
Oh my god! But the last episode when we saw her kind of chatting with the ICE agent, everyone's like, "Oh, what is she telling him?" And this episode, I'm like, "Oh, she was for sure ratting on somebody."
Yeah, she's just Monica. Like the Mexican orderly up there. Don't think he's got his papers.
Yeah.
You can't even say his name. What is it, Mateo? How do you even spell that?
He's not even an orderly. They don't even have orderlies because it's not a psych ward.
Oh, man.
By the way, guys, Latino here, if you're watching for the first time, I'm Cuban. I'm allowed to make the Mateo joke.
When she came in a few episodes ago, it's like, oh, cool, we get a hero. Dana likes her. Now I'm like, nah, fuck Monica. She's on the wrong side.
She was straight up saying, like, she was Alex Jones. Like, as soon as, like, a fucking ICE came in, Patriot. It's like Javadi comes in.
They're just doing their job.
It's like,
don't give them so much shit.
Koff, can you say that nurse's name again a little faster?
Monica? Or Mateo?
No. The first one you said.
Monica.
One more time.
Monica?
Jagger, are you picking up what I'm putting down?
No.
I'm so confused.
No, never mind. Someone in the comments will get it. Let us know.
Wait,
I'll let you
back up
to the show.
Okay.
You're not saying anything wrong. I was trying to have you fall into a trap.
You've activated my trap card. Oh, sorry, I didn't quote
there we
you.
go. There we go. There was a lot of interesting things that happened in this, and like I think that you look at something like that with Monica, and someone might look at it as a throwaway. But I love that you pointed out everything that she was doing in the previous episode and what that could be. There's been like a few patients in these episodes that have been throwaway patients. Like I don't think we necessarily need the sunburn girl. Like I actually think as we get later into
Lobster Lady,
I need her
Holy
origin story.
shit.
The sunburn girl.
That I was shocked when I saw her. Jesus, that the makeup department had like a field day with her. Jesus, she looked like they dumped red paint on her.
I mean, yeah, that's probably what they did, pal.
Method acting. She cooked herself for real. She got cancer for that episode. Actually, Koff. Was like,
it is a speaking role, so she got her SAG card. So hey, worth it.
we have so many patients here where there's like legitimate stories. We have Duke who wants to leave, and we sort of get like the foreshadowing here of Robbie essentially getting to the point of frustration where he's like, I don't know when I'm going to be back. That's something that like can't be a throwaway, and I think we could focus a bit more on that. We get the mom, the one who wandered in traffic, didn't even know if her son was dead or alive, which we caught some flack on the last episode talking about that. I'm gonna stand on business. Like, I think there's more to say here about the mom walking into traffic and not even knowing the status of her son. I understand shock. This is I think just a wild scenario to not even know the status of the kid.
And to be fair, the comics were divided like on it, and it goes back to what Al Hashimi said, like to McKay, is like, I don't know, me being a mother, if I've gotten more judgmental or less, because like when I watched it, it's like it's both, just for the simple fact that you understand what it's like being a mother, but at the top of that, you understand what it's like being a mother, and how could you ever not do this, and vice versa. And I feel like, and I don't have kids, so I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm okay to accept that criticism on here. But I think when you don't have kids, it's a lot easier to just look at this subjectively and say that there's a lot of fucking questions that I have, you know? So I think that's what Joy was doing.
Even some of the other doctors, like you mentioned, Joy, like they're there, like, could this have been
on purpose,
done on purpose, or either way, like it's still negligence, right? Like that is.
And the way I read this is, and I might be wrong. Again, like Jack, I don't have any kids. I have no desire to have any kids. But if she did not know the status of her child when she went to wander off into traffic, I think that goes to show either her guilt is so great that she tried to kill her kid. And so she was trying to off herself to try to alleviate that guilt. That's how I read that. That's my thought process. Because maybe it's the other way where she felt guilty that she almost accidentally killed her kid, or she thought she killed her kid. But the way she was presenting to me, it seems more of, I wanted to kill my kid. I can't live with that anymore. Now I need to off myself. And maybe this is just postpartum depression that never got treated, and now it's finally manifesting 5 years down the line of murder-suicide. We do see that sometimes.
Have we established, is she single mom?
Nope, the dad went upstairs.
No, the father
was
upstairs with the kid. Yeah, they mentioned that, and he never
even checked on her. So to give her credit,
she's essentially single mom.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably a testament of where she's at, and that's like, to be fair, guys, I'll give more clarity. I'm not saying like, oh, she's a murderer, did this or whatever, not paying attention. I'm just saying that I don't think that. I think it's closer to 50-50 that it was accident or intentional. And I also think that she was probably pushed that way because of a negligent fuck-ass husband, tale as old as time. And like you said, Alfredo, she's a single mom, but not a single mom. She's the married single moms is what I like to call them. You know,
I grew up with a single mom. And I think there are a lot of moments where a parent gets very, very lucky that their child doesn't get hurt or die or anything. And there's a lot of those scary moments. And I've had the same conversation with my mom where you honestly, you're shocked you make it through your kid's childhood as a single parent sometimes. And so like, I totally get that struggle. I think what this show is trying to do and what the writing was trying to do is have people have these conversations. And I think that's been it with almost everything they've done. They're not picking a side on anything. They're not telling you exactly or straight up what happened. They are opening up dialogues so that you can look at a situation, something that seems to be pretty gray area, and for you to just try to interpret that yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I think we talked about this last episode. These are things that just happen. And I had a post on Threads that went pretty viral. I called Ogilvy a villain. It was like, he's not a villain. I'm like, I'm using like internet lingo, guys. Like, chill the fuck out. I'm not writing a paper. But it is true that the pit, it doesn't have always heroes and villains. These are just people, and we're kind of watching, you know? And I think that the mom is the classic case of, here's something that just fucking happened. There is no black and white. It's just a gray area. And that's what makes this interesting, because all these characters have to interact, still be doctors throughout this entire fucking thing. And we, at home, we get to watch them judge them and come up with our own conclusions as well.
Which doctor was it McKay, I think, when they were like, do you think she did it? And there was like, as a doctor, it doesn't matter, but as a person or as a mother. Yeah. It was McKay and
McKay
and Al-Hashmi.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that's a really important distinction to make in the show is like, as a doctor, you take an oath to do no harm. You treat everyone as they come. That's why they even treat the guy that assaulted Emma. But as a person, it's hard to stop and not take a step back and judge them and be like, hey, you almost killed your kid or you tried to kill your kid, whichever way you fall on that thought process. And again, this show just makes me contemplate, like, me personally, if I was in that situation, I would not be able to, like, the guy that assaulted Emma, I would be like, take him out. I'm not treating him. Fuck him. Put him on the street. Like,
basically how Dana was.
Yeah, I would be more
slamming
like
the
Dana.
papers against the glass.
Oh God, it was so
amazing.
good, so good. I would definitely fall more on Dana's side. I was like, just kick him out to the curb, let him fucking deal with it on his own. Like, I'm not dealing with these assholes that are assaulting my staff, and that's where, unfortunately, my humanity, I'm a little bit too emotional when stress comes on. Like, I don't handle. I know it's crazy, but like, I don't handle stress like an emergency room in a calm manner. I fucking frazzle very easily. So I could not imagine doing a single shift at an ER and not pull it and not just going nuts.
We also get in this interesting bit of information, a lot of hospitals are shutting down. And we have the son that drives his dad to the hospital who's
rural
not able to
hospitals.
I mean, rural's relative, and I got to continue, Alfredo.
Yeah.
I got a story for that.
Yeah. So I actually have it written down here. Cough, if you let me finish the sentence. Since 2005, over 110 rural hospitals have shut down permanently. Quite a bit. It's quite a bit. And to have this character, did I get this right? He had to drive roughly an hour and a half to get to that hospital while his father could not breathe? That's insane.
But not only that, but they gave the reason why those hospitals were shut. I don't know if you guys caught Medicare cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched the recording, Cough. I made a comment on it on why that happened. It's here in Fort Smith, Arkansas. We're having the same issue. We have two hospitals, and Fort Smith is rural. Like, compared to where you guys in Miami, it's rural, but it's not. It is a city. It's like the third largest in Arkansas. Landmass, it's one of the biggest out here. Multiple neighborhoods. So now the emergency room is starting to divert people from one hospital to the other. So this other hospital's wait times is just like the Pit right now, where you're in there. If you have like a broken arm, chances are you're waiting 4 or 5 hours because someone who's like actually gonna die or something is a higher priority or something like that. And that's like right here. Like, what's funny about Pittsburgh, I learned that it's a lot like Fort Smith. It's a lot like you got like there's like a racing family there. There's a racetrack here. Turns out that like a lot of up north, y'all just got different accents, but you're just as trashy as we are down here. So
they just hit copy paste.
100%.
And just
new
filter. Change the font.
Yeah, change the font and filter on there. It's just Yinzer accent, you know.
Papyrus. Yinzer's great. Guys, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our one of our patients here. Can we call it a cameo? Is that the proper terminology here?
It is a cameo. You show
Captain
the chief some
Cregan.
respect. Show the chief respect.
Captain Cregan. Yeah. He's not the chief, he's captain.
Captain
Cregan.
Yeah, it's our actor Dan Florek from Law and Order SVU, who's the captain for years and years and years. I will say, he does prove my theory that every old man has the absolute worst fucking feet in the world.
Get pedicures.
Just the absolute worst.
They pulled that shoe off. It's like, ugh.
Fucking disgusting. Just absolutely horrendous. It looks like in the Chappelle Show sketch when Tyrone Biggums is on Fear Factor.
Oh,
and his feet catch fire. That's what it looks. It just looks fucking disgusting. I pray to all the gods that those are not his real feet, that those were stunt feet, because it's disgusting.
I don't know, man. I think those were his.
I'm Dan Florek's foot double.
What? Do you guys get pedicures? Can we talk about this?
No,
I don't
but
like
I
being
need
touched like that. I don't like being touched. So
I'm gonna touch you so hard next time I see you.
I'm not gonna lie, seeing feet like that makes me want to rethink. You know, it makes me want to
I definitely need
reevaluate.
one.
Because yeah,
I get a pedicure once a month.
How much is a pedicure?
Checks
out
out.
of curiosity.
That checks out.
I love checks like that. That checks out.
I'm not genuinely not judge it, but I'm just like Alfredo.
No, I know. I just know that the response in 2007 would have been very different.
Anyway,
If like it can be anywhere from like $30 to $50, and like.
And then what do you tip? 20%, 30%?
Yeah, sure.
Is it like a haircut?
Most of these places are great though. Like they'll bring you a coffee. Some of them bring you like a beer or something like that. You sit in the massage chair. They massage like your shins and your calves, and you get like they do like a whole moisturizing treatment. Like it's amazing, guys.
I'm gonna check one out.
You just throw on a podcast. You sit there. It's like a 30-minute thing. They do the pedicure. Your feet feel amazing. Take care of yourselves.
I don't want a lady to jerk my feet off for 30 minutes.
You'd be surprised. It's fantastic. I'd pay double that. So yeah, we get him in there. The whole patient story kind of feels like a nothing burger, but it was fun to see him in there. We get the fireworks scalped guy, which was absolutely disgusting. I could not watch that. It was rough to watch.
Before they revealed the scalp thing, when they're just talking about what happened, he's like, yeah, he blew himself up with fireworks and shot himself into a garage door. I was like, what?
Nuts.
And then they show a scalp, and I was like, oh, no.
You think that, I mean, they're taking these from real events, right? Like, they're not just sitting in the writer's room being like, man, you know what would be funny? Let's just blow this guy into a garage door.
Well,
it sounds
he
like
also
something I would
mentioned,
do.
Robbie's like, leave it up to the professionals. Like, we are. Like, these are actual firework experts, and they still blow themselves up by accident. So, just goes to show, don't fuck with gunpowder.
Speaking of experts, gunpowder, I think it's a beautiful transition into our reenactment soldiers. Yeah. And
with bayonets.
Jag, you had the absolute best fucking line as we were watching this. Langdon is telling these guys, oh yeah, Donnie here, he's the best. He would have saved a lot of soldiers with his suture skills. And you said,
no, he would have been a slave back then. There ain't no way they would have let you work on him back then.
Oh man.
I mean, it is the North at least.
But 1776, George Washington was a slave owner. Yeah. Most of the founding fathers were slave owners.
So. Make my tea, bitch.
Look it up,
Sorry, guys. Don't look at American history before the Civil War. It's not pretty. I mean, yes, it's important to learn, but
not historically
don't expect.
Accurate.
Not even a little bit. And now you know why I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I was shocked when I found out Aaron Burr was white. Same thing.
I've been to his gravesite. What? No, Hamilton's gravesite in New York. Oh. Hamilton, where he died. He got shot by Burr. I visited a gravesite.
Also, is it shocking that Alfredo gets pedicures? Not
pedos. I need you to pronounce that a little better.
Pedicures.
Pedocures. That's what
Alfredo shows up. Yeah, Alfredo showed up with a cardigan for you audio listeners, and it's thrown me off. Out of like one joke.
And I might go teach a college class after this. Maybe hang out in a coffee shop, but not actually work on anything.
Just pull your laptop out, type away, doing nothing.
There and judge people as they walk in. Honestly, it's kind of like people that don't wear glasses when you put fake glasses on for the first time and you feel smarter. I put on this cardigan and I'm just like, I feel like I can do a lot more things that I couldn't do.
I have to wear glasses.
Disability
every day
is not your culture, Alfredo.
God just dropped a bar. My disability is not your culture. Guys, we got a lot that needs to get wrapped up here in these final episodes, man. We got our patient Orlando is back. That's our patient from a previous episode who the family couldn't pay for things, and now he's back. That seems awful. We still got Duke, got baby Jane Doe. We've got our college student that got tased by the security guard. We've got the ICE storyline where one of the nurses is now being held in
detained.
Detained. We got a lot, man. We got a lot. And like I said, I don't think they're going to wrap it all up in these next 3 episodes, but I think they're going to give us a really good conclusion to this that's going to lead into something really strong for season 3.
Did we ever get an answer about the water slide kid? The one that was missing?
They found him.
Like the
police found him, and they were bringing him to see his dad.
Yeah.
There's basically a throwaway thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think with a lot of these things and what the show is doing is with the patients is like, you don't need the conclusion for the patients. They're more of just the plot devices that help us get to conclusions for our doctors. Mm-hmm. And like, I think that's what we're going to end up seeing here. But I do think that when it comes to certain patient storylines, like the Baby Jane Doe thing, if we don't get closure on that, like I'm assuming we will at some point. Very intrigued.
I saw someone speculate that I don't think it's right, but they thought the mom with the mom walking around traffic, that might be her baby. But
what?
I don't think that's accurate.
That's a lot of fuck ups.
That'd be a lot.
That is a theory I saw floated around. I don't think it's accurate, but it would be interesting if that's how they.
She would have to go to the hospital, leave the baby in the hospital, go back home, lock her kid in the back seat of the car, pretend to do some gardening, and then come back to the hospital with that said kid that was in the car.
What if that was part of her murder-suicide plan and she didn't want to kill the baby? She wanted to kill the 5-year-old. I don't know.
I just feel like
again, I don't
do that. She wasted a lot of gas.
Cough spends a lot of time on Reddit, guys.
I do.
We won't talk about what you're looking at on there, guys. I think that's gonna be a wrap. That's gonna be a wrap for us. Once we're talking about Cough's Reddit habits, we've gone too far. But that's gonna be a wrap for us. We'll be back again next week. These episodes always come out immediately after The Pitt airs on HBO Max. So join us for these final 3 episodes, The Pitt, episodes 13, 14, 15, as well as a bunch of other shows that we've got coming out. We just watched Project Hail Mary. We did our rewatches of both Sinners and One Battle After Another. Every Tuesday, we've got Paradise over on Unbinged Premium as well. Invincible Season 4 also on Unbinged Premium. And then we are going to be covering Your Friends and Neighbors, The Boys. And then I forgot another one for the premium is going to be Euphoria. So lots of reasons for you guys to stick around, keep watching with us every single week. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure if you're listening on audio, take a sec to leave a review, man. Like it helps us so much. Those 5-star reviews get us in front of more people, and it helps us as independent content creators. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Kopf. See you next time. Adios.